All right. We are, dude, what week are we in? I'm losing track.
This is
I
week
Oh, I
think
eight.
have
we're
no idea. This
um
is
Week eight.
uh, week eight.
week 8. It is the week 8 marquee match between Linnos, who's on team Juggernaut, versus Aelix, who is the co-captain of Team Phantom.
Fan chumps, you
Um,
Ooh.
mean?
yeah, the fan chumps, and this is the biggest chump of them all, having lost 0 games this season. Bro's on an absolute murder rampage, and he's staring down an incredibly strong team, in my opinion, with Roaring Moon, Tapu Lele, and Meowscarada. Like, wow, what a little core at the front. And then
Not to mention,
some,
Palucha is like the kind of crazy too. That was a combination I wanted to try. Was the Roaring Moon, uh, Unburden, and Halucha all at the same time on my terrain team that I had going on this season. But looks like he managed to put it together too, and it's looking pretty scary.
he's got the fastest dudes of all time here. All of them are actually really quick. I don't even know if a single one of these is below like 95 on Linus' side versus the big, slow beefcakes that Aelix has been using to very great effect this season. Um, Calling it right now, Landorus is scarfed. I feel like that thing is never not scarfed.
For real. Um, yeah, and Halucha is his only immunity to earthquake. So, and he's got a lot of weaknesses. Um, let's see. Uh,
We've seen Roaring Moon go Terra Flying before. This is now Terra Fire though.
right.
Mm.
Especially with that, Terrifier is interesting. I wonder what that's for. Maybe for the Sinistcha? Sinistcha can be pretty threatening, though, with its ability to just heal and
And burn.
severe burns. Nothing on this team wants a burn, aside from Lele and, I mean, Infernape can't be burned, so the
Yeah,
Terrifier is
all the rest of
probably
them
going
are
to avoid the burn.
very susceptible to burns. So I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. It's also going to be, I think, Landorus is going to be used to great effect with those intimidates. You can't put clear amulet on all of them, and he's only got one special attacker in this whole bunch. So
I
He
we're going
really,
to see a
can be a
lot.
special attacker, though.
I really admire Alex's team. Like it's just pretty straight up. Like it's not trying to do anything silly. No terrain tricks, no weather tricks. It is just dudes, just thick dudes.
Thick dudes. I'm gonna let them know they can go ahead. We also got a crowded mic today. I'm joined by Chris and Dig Dogger, and also Straight Shade has hopped in too. So we got some hella commentators up in here. The most well attended one is at 11 p.m. on a Friday. So all right.
Yeah, do we expect I definitely expect to see Sinistra in the back, but do I think we'll see Landorus? So no,
Sinistcha,
Sinistra up front.
maybe he needs it to set Trick Room.
I think that's a good point, and I think that Trick Room is going to be something that he's going to want to try and get off here. But he is staring down two of the most powerful knockoffs of all time. Um, we have a Terra Fairy on that thing, so that's going to be a heck of a good Terra if he decides to go with it here. I'm not entirely sure what these two can do about that. And
Didn't
then
acknowledge Alex's Terras earlier being all steel or fairy.
I think that's what's really funny about Terra in a prep environment is sometimes one person's team can't really deal with a specific type. So if you make all of them that type, you might be sitting pretty.
You might be.
He's been getting this Gudra really going this season also. It has done a lot of really great things with Life Dew and Shelter and Body Press. Body Press looks really good, I think, especially into these two Pokemon right here, but also into Lycanroc. Um, so that could be a really strong setup set. Maybe Linnos sees that coming and has packed Taunt on something. Um, Taunt would be fantastic here into both of these guys, honestly. I'm not really quite sure what they can do otherwise, except maybe a Sinistra burn on something with. Um,
Yeah, there's a lot
gotcha,
of
gotcha.
yeah, there's a lot of potential here for uh Aelix, using his status moves to his advantage. So a taunt here from either one of these Pokemon that I think both of them can learn taunt. Can Roaring Moon
Hmm.
learn taunt? Okay.
Yeah, he can.
So even I could even see a double taunt here, but uh, there's always mental herb too, which is something to look out for.
Important
If he
thing
does
here
get
is
teleported,
no booster energy.
Oh,
that's
that's a very good point. I hadn't noticed that. Oh, we have a
switching in
swap.
from the
We have a
Terrifier.
Terrifier. Good U-turn from Linnos to pivot out, probably expecting the a mold breaker is really interesting. Earthquake does a decent chunk, and a nice body press swap in. Ooh, and Rocky helmet on Palucha, which is very cool.
Yeah, since it's not unburdened, it can hold a real item like that. That's interesting. I
Hmm.
wonder what it has an old breaker for that. I think I've seen that levitate unless he has something back. His other two that he didn't bring.
Let's think about these.
Levitate or
What does maybe he was trying to get around a GUI from Gudra Hisui. Um, or
would Mold Breaker
if
still be
does mold break
playable?
does mold breaker proc berserk? That's actually interesting.
Um, I feel like Mold Breaker only breaks through things that prevent you from damaging. I
Oh,
don't
really?
think.
Well,
Yeah, I'm not
I,
sure. I don't think it breaks through.
Maybe he brought Moldbreaker to break through the shell armor on Gudra.
That's
is he trying
that's
to?
Nope,
possible.
going for the big crit.
Going
He
for
now
the
has a
big.
4% chance. So, immediate stomping tantrum. Ooh, a low kick into. Okay.
So we know
That
the
was a
thing is
big
That,
scarfed.
stomping tantrum.
yeah.
I guess because Earthquake failed last turn, that stomping tantrum did a lot. I mean, it's also weak and stab and also all that, but
This is
does
also
Um,
would that have
telepathy.
double?
Lele.
Oh, telepathy Lele.
Well, seeing that
man.
earthquake, maybe he wants that next to the earthquake there.
Mm. Here comes Sinistra back in again. Hospitality. We have a Wonder Room.
Wonder Room.
Somebody look up immediately what Wonder Room does, please.
Switches
I think
special
it
Please
defense and
help
does.
me.
defense.
Is that what it does? I thought it disabled items, or is that Magic Room?
That might be bad. This is definitely a play to get at that Gudra, right?
That's really funny, actually.
The problem is it the stat changes aren't effective or aren't
In Wonder
effective with
Room?
Wonder Room.
So does that make it
Uh,
better or better defensively? Because Gudra's special
oh.
defense is huge.
So Gudra now is still +2 defense, just with its base defense and special defense swapped.
Only the base gets swapped. That
So he made
I
him
can't
stronger.
ignore that
Well,
interaction.
that makes his body press better, but that does give him an avenue to use special attacks here, which he does not seem to have a
Oh,
lot of.
oh no. We have reached quite an interesting point. I assume that Sinistra's coming back in here.
For one of these guys, yeah.
Yeah, like
Um,
even just a U-turn or something. Like we know that this thing is scarfed. I guess you'd have to swap at this point.
yeah, because he already used. Wait, did he use anything?
Oh, yeah, he used okay, so yeah, U-turn right here into Meowscarada if he's running it, into the hospitality on Sinistra. Um,
The
and then a
funny thing is,
swift.
it seems like Martin's only special attackers are Lele and maybe Infernape. And his
Mhm.
Lele used Psyshock, which hits the physical defense of the opposing Pokemon.
No, he's really in a tough spot here, and this intimidate cycling with the hospitality swap in from Sinistra. I mean, that's just what a terrible vortex to be stuck in.
Wonder Room.
I mean, he could maybe try a flower trick, but then he's really gambling if Sap Sipper's on that Gudra or not.
Hmm.
That's true. Well, Sap
And that would
Sipper or
improve.
Shell Armor. Shell Armor would prevent the crit as well, right? Isn't that what Shell Armor does?
Yeah, so he literally has to be running GUI for
In
this
order
to
for
even
that
work out
move
in
to
his
do
favor.
anything.
And regardless, if Sinistra comes back in and gives him plus 25% of his HP, I don't know. This thing's looking really scary. Aelix is making this thing look completely impossible to break.
I mean, Jack, you know, Steel Dragon is a very good thing.
It's an insane defensive typing. Not only because it's only weak to two things, but because if you're a physical Pokemon, ooh, a Sash, okay, nice.
Okay, so we see the Scarf U-turn on him. And
Back into
Hospitality.
Sinistra. We have a decently strong. Okay, we got a kill, and then a body press onto my man Meowscarada.
Brings back in that Scarflanders, and then it's got nothing else.
Yeah, presumably clicks a Rock Slide or something. Another Intimidate onto
Mr.
Rey
Ray.
Mysterio's. Yeah, I'm just gonna all but seal this up, I would say.
We see the knockoff.
Does he kill? He does kill. Halucha picks up a couple kills here and then goes down to a swift heavy slam. All right, so a 2-0 for Aelix that game.
That was, man, if that Wonder Room had worked out, if it wasn't for the whole interaction that who knows that besides Charles.
Well, I would assume Martin would have known, given he put it on his Pokemon.
True. I don't know. Depending on how much he did, he might not have known that it works through stats like that. But man,
So yeah, we know that Layla's two moves, I think that we know from her are Shy Shock and Wonder Room, correct? Neither of those are very helpful against this Gudra. And again, Landorus there with that Intimidate. I mean, it's just a really tough spot for him to be in. I mean, how do you, if you guys were Linnos going into this, I mean, what would you try and prioritize out of the Pokemon that you brought? Let's assume that Infernape is special.
assume that Infernape is special. Yeah. I could definitely see him not clicking Wonder Room this time. I'm not even sure if he brings Lele this time, unless he really wants the telepathy for Earthquake. But yeah, I think Rolling Moon still comes, but maybe the fake out from Infernape could prove useful, or if he has taunt on anything, bring that.
I would say, given how physically offensive Martin's team is, he really needs to focus on getting Landorus done. Once he gets Landorus out of the way, then maybe he can bring Roaring Moon in and really start to do some damage. Roaring Moon, even though he doesn't match up really well type-wise against Aelix's Pokemon, it is just such a powerful Pokemon that if he can just enable it to do some work, I think it could really help him out.
Fortunately, with that Landorus, it being scarfed means it's so much faster than anything, and then it can just leave, bring out, bring out Sinistra, take those hits, bring out something else, and then come right back in, knock that attack stat down again.
And I mean, as far as we can tell, it doesn't look like he's got a clear amulet on anything that needs it, really. So,
Do we know what's on the Roaring Moon? Like, what the hell is on that thing? Is it a Lumberry, maybe?
Yeah, we didn't see any items. I do think that we probably won't see the Terra Fire in front of the Landorus this game.
I think I agree with that. I mean, what do you roll with again? Like an Earthquake only did 36% or something last time. Oh, he just lets it rip.
Blast out
Allows
the
Meowscarada to go down to Sash. I'm expecting, I mean, any of these Pokemon except Primarina would be a good swap in here.
You could get caught out if he puts in the Sinistra and Linnos is clicked like knockoff or something.
A knockoff is probably the only worst case scenario. I mean, a Flower Trick doesn't really hit anything.
Knock off U-turn into the Sinestro spot if he brings Sinestro in would be pretty bad.
There goes the
Oh, he
knockoff.
does read it. There's a Colbur Berry, though. Another knockoff? Into... Oh my god, that was a strong knockoff.
And that knocked off
Ooh,
his
Psychic
psychic seed,
Seed.
which didn't do anything for him. Unfortunately.
That was a -1 knockoff, too. That just kind of shows how strong Roaring Moon can really be.
Yeah, 35% is quite substantial, but it's going to be doing significantly less now. No item and +2 defense.
Oof.
And really all he has to do is swap the Sinistcha back out again into Landorus, get another... Yep.
Intimidate Brock.
This would be a great call on a flower trick.
You got a crit there. That's nice. Back into Dwayne.
Oh,
Nice. Tailwind, he goes down. All right, so what do we have in the back to deal with this? We have Masquerade back
Now he can get a nice flower trick off. He's going to be fast on this thing.
Still, the double resist if
either-
he doesn't. Yeah.
A Sinistra coming in, I don't think it would die to a knockoff because it doesn't have an item. And I mean, I guess Juggernaut can hit a close combat, but that's not killing this Gudra. And a heavy slam definitely kills in return because he can't be sashed.
Right. Not to mention, Landorus is the fastest thing on the field, so if he wants to outspeed Masquerade, he can. Okay, so
Oh,
he
he's
just switches.
tailwinded, so yeah, he switches out. We have a Fairy Terra. Oh, triple axle's pretty nice. That definitely kills this guy if all 3 hit. Only 2 hit.
That's so unfortunate. And the rock
And
slide
the
missed.
missile
Flinch?
rock slide.
Nope. There's a heavy slam.
One day, people will start using wide lens on their triple axle Pokemon.
All right, we have Infernape out here. If he's got an overheat, that would be crazy good. Maybe into this.
Well, not the
Gudra?
fairy type.
He
This
swapped into
oh.
Fairy, so his flower trick could actually do some damage here if he has it.
This triple axle will kill Lando too.
We have an adrenaline orb popping off. Fire, flamethrower.
It is a special attacker.
30-something percent.
Oh,
And
dude,
the triple axle
gosh.
missed entirely.
wow,
That
dude,
is.
that's a heartbreaker right there.
We love Pokemon, guys. We love Pokemon.
God. Dude, okay. Linnos is no longer ever allowed to say that he has Victory Star. Truly, it doesn't.
He doesn't
He's not
anymore.
allowed to say that. He lost it completely. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, that's
Evil, evil, evil moments there at the very end. Poor Masquerade could not, for the life of her, do a single thing.
Ultimately, though, it does suck to see those misses, but I think Aelix is far enough ahead that even if they did hit, I think we still would have seen the same outcome.
Gudra, man, it's just impossible to break through.
I would have liked to have seen what would have happened though.
That does cement him as our second 8-0 this season.
2 8-0s at the very top. The same bros from last season. And we've got both our guys here also. Hi, Aelix and Linnos. How y'all doing?
Hello.
Doing all right. Got some lucky RNG there. Feels good.
It definitely... I said this, Linnos. I'm sorry. I think we might have to just completely revoke your Victory Star card. I don't know if you have it anymore.
Maybe, I don't know.
I feel like I've seen you get absolutely railed like 3 weeks this season because of terrible misses.
Right. Yeah, and I think the play was good. It's just I didn't get that last hit.
See, I think the problem is he's running 90 accuracy moves. I think if you run 70 accuracy moves, you'll be better off.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
He's probably true.
It's like an inverse
Oh.
Victory Star.
I want to
No.
focus on kind of 2 key things that. Sorry, did someone else have something?
I was just very curious about what's going on with those items. Where no booster energy, what's going on?
Yeah, what was the Roaring Moon item?
The Roaring Moon item was Life Orb. Because I was running U-turn because I wanted to pivot. That's why I ran Protean on Hypothetical Cat too. So because I wanted to pivot around the Intimidate coming from Lando, but it was just so hard breaking through that Kudra. Even Wonder Room didn't work, which was crazy to me.
Well, okay, I have a question about Wonder Room. Did you know that if Gudra's got +2 defense and you activate Wonder Room, it still has +2 defense and it doesn't get +2 special defense?
I didn't know that. I thought it switched.
No,
Yeah,
it keeps its +2, and also Psyshock hits its physical defense anyways. So
Yeah, the idea was it boosts it with Iron Defense or whatever, and then I use Wonder Room. So in my head, it switches special defense and defense. So Psyshock would do more damage.
yeah, that's fair. So instead of being 100 base defense with +2, it's just simply 150 base defense was your plan.
Ooh, really? Let me see. I didn't know.
Gudra has 150 base special defense is why.
Yeah, it only checks the base stats, not the bonuses, which is not something I knew before this either.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
also
I
got
was
got by
Yeah,
that.
'cause
I
Wonder
was
Room
running
says
a
switches the defense and special defense of all Pokemon. So I guess it doesn't mention any stat bonuses. But I was also banking on the fact that he went plus HP plus defense.
I had a special defense nature.
Great.
Oh,
Still.
great. Oh my god. All that thing did was sit on the field the entire set. Aelix, I just want to hear your thoughts on Gudra this season. I feel like that is the mon that holds your team together.
It's really fun to use when it works. It's just there's some weeks where it doesn't look very good. That's kind of how it felt about my team this season. Is not every mon is good every week, but when they are good, they just like they're so important. So it's just knowing which mons to bring when. Like Moltres started out super good for me at the beginning of the season. I barely used it lately, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Has there been
Gudra.
a week when
It's just
Sinistra wasn't good?
Sinistra, well, it's usually at least okay. Sometimes, based on what their offensive pressure is, it's a little hard to bring. But especially this week, just being able to come in and heal the Gudra or like Rage Powder or something, pretty darn good.
Yeah. I think what's really cool, and I think you put it on display this week, was the sort of like the switch in progress that your team can make, right? Like all you had to do was rotate that right hand slot, and you always generated momentum because
Yeah,
Gudra
that's
kept
like
setting
all
up.
I did next to the Gudra was it just was always it always seemed like a good play because I could get
Mhm.
off the intimidates and the heals.
And you just get to keep pivoting back and forth between these two Pokemon and force your opponent to make a read. Um, I think that's why that, obviously Intimidate has been a staple ability for so long, but those those abilities that can generate momentum like that on Switch, I just feel like are so valuable.
Yeah, it's so powerful, and like most of Linnos's team is physical attackers, um, and his only special attacker is Lele, and I actually had a Psychic Seed, so if it ever came in, which he actually went Telepathy this week, so that didn't work out, but the idea was that no matter what, my Gudra was going to be like unbreakable.
At the new season, JoJo, Gudra is unbreakable.
Right.
The Wonder Room tech was a sight to behold. I hope that works someday. It's just
Yeah.
you think it's there's so often I go to use like this underused move and then I learn something about it that's this move is actually worse than I even thought it was.
Try to use that
Yeah.
unused move and find out why it was unused.
Yeah,
In
pretty much.
theory, it should have worked right, but I didn't see 150 defense on Gudra.
Yeah. on top of the whole stat changes not being affected.
Right, which I think that mistake is more like you could understand that mistake, but the other one is just I missed it.
Yeah.
I missed the Gudra.
In more ways than one. Well, you didn't miss the Gudra. You did miss those triple axles though.
Yeah, right.
Ouch. Oh, bro, that's too soon. Those were so depressing. God.
Yeah, but
Anybody
I
else
think
have any
even if
questions?
they did,
Oh, sorry,
oh,
Linnos.
I was gonna say,
Go
I
for it.
think even if they did hit, I probably still wouldn't have been able to break through Gudra in time. I don't think we saw the fourth move, and I don't know if Gudra has recover, but if it does, then I don't think there was a way I could break through it.
It was life due, which is kind of like recover.
Okay. Yeah. Less.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, that thing.
It's tough to take out, man. I mean, I think that there are, I guess, reliable ways to deal with it, but we just haven't been able to see it get put on display yet, and it keeps steamrolling teams. Someone will get you, Aelix, I promise. Someone will at some point. They have to, right?
I not to brag, I actually still have yet to drop a game this season.
Oh,
Oh man.
we know. We've been talking about it. We're well aware.
Getting closer
And
to the end of the
it's
season, you're gonna get a bigger target painted on your back.
Yeah.
That
It's
happens
so
every time someone
funny.
goes undefeated, especially like this.
Let's just hope if you get a call out this season, you don't go out in the first round again. I don't know.
Oh man.
He said, just
I
don't run
say,
into
as someone
Lowe's
who
again.
also went out in the first round when I had a call out.
Oh, Charles, that game. I'm so sad we lost it. I'm sorry. I know that's a low point for your career, but damn. What a game.
Which are you talking about? Which one?
The nut game?
Oh, where Nuck almost certainly forgot that Ndidi was a normal type. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, okay. Anybody else have any questions for our competitors today?
Nothing in particular.
I don't think so. I think moving into the only question I have moving into the postseason, how are you guys feeling about your teams? Obviously, Aelix is undefeated. Martin's not undefeated, but are you feeling like your team's starting to come together? You're getting ready for the postseason? Feel good going into playoffs or play-ins?
I think I'm seeing the huge glaring weaknesses in my team. Specifically, Klefki is not the steel type that I need, but the steel type I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, yeah, I think the idea of my team having a lot more physical attackers than special attackers is okay, especially now with Masquerada. I think she is the best addition to my team. Especially getting rid of Amungus, who wasn't doing much on my much faster team. But we'll see. Maybe I might pick up that elephant.
Oh, Caparaja?
Yeah.
Oh, you know Charles is
a
on
man
board with
after
that.
my own heart. But also, I don't know, not to like really help you out. You're on another team, but there is this Pokemon, S Cavalier on the chopping block. I hear
That's all good.
I hear its owner is taking taking looks at it. He'll hear
Only
offers.
one weakness.
Hey, if I want a bug steal, I think I'll go for Scizor instead of Escavalier. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, if you can get Scizor out of Mark, that's fine. I tried already. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
I'd
mean,
probably maybe go for is Gensect in free agency? I just curious.
Not yet. Not yet.
We can talk Alex out of it.
Charles got his Jormungandr type trade this season. Hopefully, I can get my Jormungandr trade this season.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, well, good game, guys. Hopefully, we see you guys in some playoff marquees, and have a good rest of your week and finish the season strong.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Allah, I'm a goddamn. Bye.
Awesome game.